Well, guys, man, Deion Sanders prime time, Coach Prime, and Shedeur Sanders, they got the internet buzzing on a potential legendary move that has people talking. And you know, we're going to talk all good things about Shedeur Sanders, and this could be a legendary move. You are now tuned in to a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sap. Well, guys, we got to talk about what got the internet buzzing, but we're going to talk about it right after this.
Let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sap, chopping up topics for your optics. From politics to your topics. Tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio, stereo, bumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen. We smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man, I got something to say.
Well, guys, you know I got something to say when it's surrounded around my man, Shedeur Sanders. Check this out. Shedeur Sanders and Coach Prime got the internet buzzing. Now, you know Coach Prime has a show with Roxy Diaz. And Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, in it to a possible switch. A legendary move for his son, Shedeur Sanders. Now, we all know Shedeur Sanders grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, groomed by his father, the great Hall of Famer, Deion Primetime Sanders. And we all know the maturation process that we have watched with Deion coaching his son, Shedeur Sanders. And all through Shedeur Sanders' illustrious high school career, off into college, he has wore the number 2. And a lot of people probably don't understand why the reason he wears number 2, and a lot of people might. But y'all know when Deion Sanders played at Florida State, he wore number 2. And that's the reason why Shedeur Sanders wears number 2. And Shiloh, his brother, he donned the jersey number 21, which his father, Deion Primetime Sanders, wore when he was started off in the NFL. So now we all know that Shedeur Sanders drafted 5th overall, 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. He donned the number 12 uniform. Cleveland had people like Tim Couch wearing number 2. I think there was a defensive player wearing number 2. So Shedeur Sanders, wasn't available to get that. But now, going into his second year, knowing he has the reins right now of quarterback 1 with the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders put in a request to the NFL to switch his jersey number from number 12 to number 2 in a legendary move. But Deion Sanders hinted to it on the show with Roxy Diaz. And now the internet is buzzing because now Shedeur Sanders or his handlers have made an Instagram page, and it's called SS2 Legendary. And they just joined this particular page yesterday. And this is the picture that's floating around that got the internet buzzing. You see that picture right there? And you see the headlines, SS2 Legendary. And this got the internet buzzing. And then there's an article that was produced by Browns Nation. So let's get off into what this article had to say. Browns Nation, and this was just updated tonight, Sunday, March 22nd, 2026, by Jim Schwartz. Well, Jimmy Schwartz. Don't let me say Jim Schwartz, because people are going to confuse him with the old defensive coordinator. But listen, Deion Sanders hints a big change for Shedeur Sanders in 2026. The Cleveland Browns are entering a pivotal season at quarterback position, and all eyes will be on Shedeur Sanders as he continues his development after showing flashes of potential in his rookie year. Sanders remains one of the most intriguing young players on the roster as he prepares for 2026 season. There's already speculations about how he might take another step forward. Now, in a recent comment from his father, Deion Sanders, he's added an interesting wrinkle to that conversation. The potential change is not about mechanics or scheme. It's something much simpler. Then it goes on to say he's thinking about switching his numbers right now. He's thinking about going back to number 2 of number 12, Deion Sanders said. This may seem like a small detail, but jersey numbers can carry significance for players, especially when they are tied to their past success. Sanders wore number 2 during his standout college career at Colorado, where he built much of his reputation as a top quarterback prospect. After arriving in Cleveland, he switched to number 12, making a new chapter at the professional level. Now it appears he could be considering a return to his roots. On the field, Sanders still has plenty to prove. He has shown accuracy and poise at times, but like many young quarterbacks, consistency remains a work in progress. The Browns are still evaluating their long-term answer at the position. And 2026 will be an important year in determining where Sanders fits in the plan. Ultimately, whether he wears 12 or number 2, the focus will remain on his play. The Browns need production and stability at quarterback, and Sanders will have every opportunity to show he can provide both. Still, if he does return to his college number, it could be a small but meaningful step as he looks to take the next leap in 2026. I apologize. But guys, this is what I'm saying. Articles like this are major because there was no slander to Shedeur Sanders. In this article that Jimmy Schwartz wrote, he basically stated that the promise that Shedeur Sanders showed his rookie year. It's not like he put in the article that he struggled, he is bad, he's one of the worst quarterbacks he's ever seen. He wrote a nice article in it's small things and detailed things that people might seem that are not major, but going back to your roots of being number 2 legendary, that carries a lot of weight for Shedeur Sanders. And I think that's why he's making the possible switch back to number 2. He put in the request to the NFL. He's just waiting to hear from the response. But right now, that has the internet buzzing because of the fact that Shedeur Sanders has made 2 legendary. And he wants to go back to his roots. And that might be the small things that might say, hey, that helps him take the next leap in his second year as an NFL quarterback. And see, people don't understand that this holds a lot of weight and is valuable to Shedeur Sanders because he's made that number 2 legendary with the wrist up and everything and all his, merchandise 2 legendary. But this is what got the internet buzzing, and this is what's waking people up in their sleep because of the news that just dropped about Shedeur Sanders possibly going back to number 2 in his second year in the NFL. And people been reaching out to me all day long. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? I've seen it, but there's people making videos and content about it. But I wanted to come on and give you my perspective and tell you what it means the way that I'm going to explain it to you guys. I just think this is something that Shedeur Sanders wants. He wants that number 2. But I understand in the article it stated that, he wanted to switch to 12 because this is, a new chapter. But going back to your roots is just the small things that probably can get you going. But this will be a legendary move. And, Anytime that Deion Sanders, his dad, hints to something, y'all know it comes to fruition. So we're going to pay close attention to this to see if the NFL gives him the authorization to switch to number 2. I don't think nobody on Cleveland right now is wearing number 2. So I think it's available to him. But that would be legendary if he pulls it off. And this is what got the internet buzzing. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case you forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.